Is it time to start Shedeur Sanders in Cleveland? When is it going to happen, folks? Browns fans, I'm going to tell you here on the show as the rumors are heating up. We're going to look at Dillon Gabriel's performances, and the experts, the insiders, Ian Rappaport have all weighed in about Shedeur Sanders' time in Cleveland and when it's coming. Welcome into the Browns Report, everybody. I am your host, Joey O'Donoghue. Excited to do this video. Before I tell you the news, be the coach. I want to know where Browns fans' heads are at right now. Do you think the Browns should put in Shedeur Sanders? I'm talking for Sunday against the Dolphins. I'm saying, should he be the starter right now for Cleveland? Type Y for yes if you think Sanders should be in the game. Type N for no if you think Dillon Gabriel should still be the Browns quarterback. Where are we at? Put that letter in the comment section now so I can go and see. The first thing we have to do is talk about Dillon Gabriel's performances through 2 starts. We have to be honest. The short passing narrative is not just the narrative. The stats show it. The film shows it. He averaged 6.0 air yards per attempt and just 4 per completion against the Steelers. Completed just 4 of 15 passes, thrown 10 or more yards downfield for a total of 51 yards, according to ESPN research. Finally, he was 3 of 10 versus the Vikings in that category of passes of at least 10-plus air yards. I mean, I know there's a lot wrong with the Cleveland Browns, but that is still coexistent and true to say that Gabriel has not looked good going deep. And he's missed receivers when they're open downfield. When he finally hits them, they drop the ball. So it's just kind of a dumpster fire on offense as a whole. But those numbers right there tell you exactly what you're seeing, that we're not efficient on passes 10 yards plus. And let's be honest. The decision to draft Dillon Gabriel over Shedeur Sanders in the 3rd round, the evaluation of talent never made sense to anybody covering the NFL draft leading up to it. I mean, ESPN's Mike Greenberg had a lot to say on this very recently. He said, I am a believer in Shedeur. There was not one draft analyst who said this guy can't play at all. Not one. I did nothing but look at quarterbacks and all the rest of the guys. There was not one person. Go back and find me one draft analyst who had Dillon Gabriel rated ahead of Shedeur Sanders. So I personally am confounded. Browns insider Mary Kay weighed in on October 12th, just a couple days ago, and said, by the way, Shedeur Sanders has arguably the number 1 trait for a quarterback, elite accuracy and uncanny touch. I believe quarterbacks can significantly improve accuracy, like Josh Allen, but Sanders is a natural in this area. Sounds like it's something Cleveland Browns need to use very soon. And look, they want it to be Gabriel, right? That's the guy Stefanski chose. They did the evaluations in preseason. They said they're going to go with Gabriel. The front office in the draft said Dillon Gabriel's available. We want him to be the guy. It didn't make sense, though, really. Like, I couldn't believe it when they took Dillon. I was like, are you serious? Shedeur's still available. And I was celebrating when they got him in the 5th. And it's just clearly not going to be the case. I mean, we'll give him a little bit more time. But look at this passing chart from the Steelers game. The green are the completions. Nothing's downfield. This is the passing chart for an entire NFL game, folks. We're barely taking shots. And when we are, I showed you, 4 of 15 on passes of 10-plus yards. You can't win football games like that. And again, there's a lot of problems with the Browns' offense. But Dillon Gabriel had a lot of bad throws, a lot of them that should have been picked against the Steelers. You have to be honest about what we're seeing. In 2 weeks, just based on the 2 weeks, they were not good performances. They were fine. But they weren't anything special. There weren't anything downfield. We still lack explosive plays in the pass game. And I'm not saying you should bench him after 2 games that were okay. He didn't actually turn the ball over at all, which is great. Although a lot of those passes against the Steelers were dangerous. A couple of them were hospital balls. And again, I'm just calling it how I see it. I'm not trying to hate on Dillon Gabriel at all. I love everyone that's on the Cleveland Browns, except Deshaun Watson. But I do think we have to be honest about the play. And if, you give him 4 games, 5 games, 6 games, well, now there's no excuse not to bench him if it's the exact same thing every single week. It's what they did with Flacco, right? Play 4 or 5 games. There's 4. And then you decide to bench him because he looked bad. He was turning the ball over. If you're trying to win, if you're trying to make an evaluation of both the rookies you drafted, well, then absolutely after 4 games, 5 games, you should bench him. I'm just saying through 2 weeks, it has not been pretty still. And if that continues, he'll be benched, and Shedeur Sanders will start this season sooner than we imagine. Maybe even right after the bye week, week 9, week 10. Ian Rappaport, one of the NFL insiders I trust most, says the expectation is that Sanders will play at some point this season when he's ready. When he does play, it would be with a full week of practice and game plan built for Shedeur. This point is how Cleveland has scripted everything for Dillon Gabriel, right? He got more reps in preseason. They are game planning around him. When it's Shedeur's time to start, they want that to happen with a full game plan for Shedeur because their games are very different. And this is great news for Shedeur Sanders fans, that Ian Rappaport is telling us the expectation is Shedeur will play this year. We're going to see him. 12, get on the field. That news is going to hit. It's going to do numbers, folks. We are so excited for it. And it could benefit Sanders to wait a little bit as well. Now, I do think he still has the higher ceiling than Dillon Gabriel. He has the better intangibles. But throwing him in there right this second, it might be bad for him. We're going to talk a lot about that and when it would be best for Shedeur Sanders to start for the Cleveland Browns. But I also want to tell you guys about an awesome deal that we have on the show today, folks. This Browns polo, a Tommy Hilfiger polo, looks clean, looks nice. I'm going to get one myself. It's over 50% off if you go to chatsports.com/CLE polo. That is chatsports.com/CLE polo. If you want to look fancy, you want to look nice, classy, while you're repping the Cleveland Browns, this is the perfect polo to do it. That Tommy Hilfiger brand says money, folks. But it's cheaper than you think because it was $70. It's now only $29 to rep the Cleveland Browns in a fancy-looking polo. Chatsports.com/CLE polo. Go on there. Dress yourself up in some Browns merch. I'll put this link in the description and in the comment section so you can find it easily. But it's easy to remember. Just chatsports.com/CLE polo. Great deal that we got for you guys for being loyal supporters of the Browns Report. Okay, let's look at the Browns quarterback situation, right? The depth chart as a whole. It's just the 2 rookies on the active roster. And so you'd imagine that absolutely they're both going to get opportunities. Gabriel already has. And it just makes the most sense that eventually you put in Shedeur, especially if what we're seeing from Gabriel continues like this, nothing special, right? We'll give him a little more time, and then we'll see. And at the moment for Cleveland, there's a lot of issues. Kevin Stefanski play calling is screwing over a lot of quarterbacks, right? I'm not discrediting this. The Browns' offensive line is bad. They can't pass block if their life depended on it. Awful wide receivers, too. I mean, they rank towards the bottom half of the league in every stat you can think of. Judy, supposed to be our number 1, leads the league in drops. It's embarrassing, quite frankly. So there are a lot of issues with the Cleveland Browns offense right now. But you cannot argue that I think Shedeur Sanders would provide a spark to this team. That no matter what, the game that he goes out there, the crowd is going to be way more into it. The fans are going to be way more into it. The players might be way more into it. I think that is a real thing, folks. I bet our receivers play a little better just because it's Shedeur. And that's not a speculation. That is, you see it all the time when there's a quarterback. Like when Baker started for the first time and came in against the Jets. We won that football game. It's a spark plug. Shedeur has that energy. And the hype, when he does anything, is unbelievable. Like, he says anything, and it's news. He says anything, and it's all over social media. He makes any play. You will see it everywhere. You can't argue that fact, that it'll at least bring life and energy into the Cleveland Browns. Like, it's going to give the Cleveland Browns national attention just by naming him the starter. That's a real truth, that it would bring electricity and energy no matter what, and that motivates players as a whole. So get ready, Browns fans, because the perfect timing, pun intended, is coming soon. We'll see him eventually this season. Unless Dillon Gabriel goes out there and plays like he's Tom Brady, then great, we're good. But through 2 weeks, that is evidently not the case. And so this will happen. And like I said, when it does, it'll be electric. The eyes will be on it. I would do it at a home game if you can, too. With all the Browns fans, all the crowd into it, Just picture the atmosphere, folks. Cleveland needs something like that right now. We've had the life sucked out of us the past few weeks watching the offense. And the Browns want to see both rookies. It's been the plan entering the season. Now that both veterans are out of the way, Flacco's gone, Pickett's gone. Seems like that'll be the case for Cleveland. Get excited, folks, because it is rookie season in Cleveland. All our other rookies have made such a great impact. One of the quarterbacks has to be able to, right? Let's gauge everyone's assessment of talent here. Browns fans, who do you think is the better quarterback? If you think Dillon Gabriel is the better quarterback, type DG in the comment section right now. If you think Shedeur is the better quarterback, then type SS. I want to see where we're at, Browns fans. Who do you actually evaluate as the better QB? Who did you think it was leading up to the draft in preseason? Type the initials in the comment section. I want to know from the Browns fans. One more fun thing here before we wrap up. Did you see Shedeur Sanders' brother, Shedeur Sanders, was in the Browns facility pretending to be Shedeur, and fans were falling for it. Even a Steelers fan wanted his autograph. This is what I'm saying, folks. Shedeur just has that attention. I mean, a Steelers fan wanted a Browns player's autograph, folks. It's the impact that Shedeur has. We're lucky we got him in Cleveland, but it's pretty funny. I mean, he was fooling Browns fans, signing autographs saying he was Shedeur. It was Shiloh. If you were at the game, it was not Shedeur Sanders. It was Shiloh. Folks, thank you so much for being with me here on today's episode of the Browns Report. You can head on over to X. Follow me at JoeyO70 if you want to talk about some more Shedeur topics or anything Cleveland Browns related. I'm there. I also post some funny memes, so, I'm kind of a funny guy if you want to check those out. But that's at JoeyO70. We thank you so much for tuning in to the Browns Report, and we will see you very shortly here on the next episode.